6-ton iconic altar stone at the heart of Stonehenge originated from northeastern Scotland rather than southwest Wales.
This is where the stones were lying and having their faces trimmed and bashed.
Scientists just proved the impossible by analyzing a tiny fragment of Stonehenge's 6-ton altar stone. Their results sent shockwaves through the world of archaeology. The stone's chemical signature doesn't match anything in England or Wales. Its home is in the rugged highlands of Scotland, over 450 miles away. The thing nobody tells you is that for a Neolithic culture with no wheels and no metal, this journey shouldn't exist. This stunning discovery has changed everything, revealing a prehistoric project with a sinister scale we are only now beginning to comprehend. The mystery isn't just how they did it, but why. Secret buried for millennia. For centuries, the story of Stonehenge was, to put it mildly, a local affair. We pictured Neolithic tribespeople, perhaps a few hundred of them, working for generations under the gray skies of Salisbury Plain. They were clever, sure. They aligned the giant sarsen stones, weighing up to 25 tons each, with the solstices. They even managed to bring the smaller blue stones all the way from the Preseli Hills in Wales, a truly impressive journey of over 140 miles. This feat alone was a testament to their ingenuity. But what archaeologists just uncovered makes the Bluestone journey look like a short walk in the park. The new discovery centers on a single, unassuming slab of rock known as the altar stone. It's a greenish-gray sandstone slab, about 16 feet long and weighing a staggering 6 tons, as much as a bull elephant. For over a century, experts just lumped it in with the other, foreign bluestones from Wales. It was a neat, tidy explanation. But not all things are what they seem. The thing nobody tells you is that a few geologists always had their doubts. The altar stone's texture, its mineral makeup, it just didn't quite fit. Now, thanks to cutting-edge technology, a team of scientists has finally solved the puzzle, and the answer has sent a jolt of fear through the archaeological community. This wasn't guesswork with a magnifying glass. They used a process called laser ablation. They zapped a microscopic piece of the stone with a high-powered laser, vaporizing it into a cloud of glowing plasma. By analyzing the light from that plasma, they could read its unique chemical DNA, element by element. It's a geological fingerprint that is one of a kind, and that fingerprint was a perfect match for a source. But that source wasn't in Wales. It wasn't even in England. The altar stone of Stonehenge was quarried from the Orcadian Basin in northeast Scotland, a jaw-dropping 465 miles away. Let that sink in for a moment. 465 miles. That's like dragging a full-grown elephant from New York City to Cleveland, Ohio, 5,000 years ago. They had no wheels. They had no iron tools. They had no beasts of burden strong enough for the task. They had nothing but primitive ropes, wooden sleds, and raw human power. What many overlooked is the sheer impossibility of the task. This wasn't just difficult. According to our understanding of the Neolithic world, it shouldn't have happened. It breaks all the rules. It means our entire picture of prehistoric Britain, a landscape of isolated primitive tribes, is completely wrong. The people who built Stonehenge weren't just a local community. They were part of a massive, coordinated, island-wide operation. An operation with the resources and the sheer willpower to undertake a project that would be a challenge even today. Many people are crazy about the mysteries of the pyramids, but this feat, in many ways, is even more baffling. This discovery changes everything because it shifts the question from, how did they build Stonehenge? To a much darker one, my God, why did they build it? Why on earth would they go to the most extreme, almost supernatural lengths to get this one specific stone from the edge of the known world? What was so special about it? This wasn't a choice of convenience. It was a choice of necessity. They needed that specific rock for a reason, and that reason was worth any price. But the stone's origin is just the beginning of the nightmare. Following the ghosts of the North, though. How did they do it? The easy answer, the one that lets everyone sleep at night, is that they used boats. Experts suggest they could have floated the 6-ton monolith down the coast of Scotland, through the treacherous Irish Sea, around the rocky tip of Cornwall, and up the English Channel. It sounds plausible, right? You see, the problem is this picture of a calm sea voyage is a complete fantasy. We're not talking about a gentle river cruise. They would have had to navigate the Pentland Firth, a narrow strait off the Scottish coast, famous for having some of the fastest tidal currents in the world, creating whirlpools that can swallow modern fishing boats whole. They would have to hug a coastline of 100-foot cliffs, facing unpredictable storms that can whip up in minutes, and tidal forces that could smash a primitive vessel to splinters against the rocks. Surviving that journey once would be a miracle. Doing it while maneuvering a 6-ton slab of rock on a flimsy, stitched-together wooden raft is just unbelievable. And that's before they even hit the land routes, hauling it for miles over hills, through dense primeval forests, and across raging rivers. The logistics are a nightmare. So the question remains, why take such a ridiculous risk? Why not just pick a big rock that was closer? The thing nobody tells you is that maybe the journey itself was the point. What if this wasn't about engineering? What if it was a ritual? A pilgrimage of suffering on an epic scale? The sheer amount of human effort required is almost impossible to calculate. We're talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of people, generations of them, their entire lives dedicated to this one task. Think of the brutal reality of their world. Life expectancy was maybe 35 years. People were pulling, straining, their muscles tearing, their bones breaking, dragging this stone inch by agonizing inch, day after day, for years. How many were lost during the journey? How many fell from the cliffs or were swept into the sea? How many were crushed under the immense weight when a rope snapped? The official history books won't talk about this, but the human cost must have been astronomical. This wasn't a community project, it was an obsession. A fanatical devotion to a purpose so powerful that it demanded this unbelievable sacrifice. What many overlooked is the psychological aspect of this. What kind of belief system could compel an entire society to engage in such a grueling, multi-generational task? This wasn't a choice. To put it mildly, this level of coordination suggests a powerful and terrifying ruling class, a priesthood or a group of chieftains who held absolute power over the population, a power greater than any pharaoh. They were able to command this massive workforce, stretching from the northern tip of Scotland to the southern plains of England, in a unified effort. This implies a single, unifying, and probably terrifying ideology that had spread across the entire island. They weren't just moving a stone, they were fulfilling a dark prophecy or appeasing an angry god. The altar stone wasn't just building material, it was a relic, an artifact of immense power, and its acquisition was worth any price, paid in sweat, tears, and human lives. They weren't just building a temple, they were assembling a machine, piece by agonizing piece. The real terror wasn't the journey. It was the destination's purpose. What was woken at Stonehenge? With the altar stone finally in place at the center of the circle, the real work could begin. For years, we've been told Stonehenge was a giant calendar, a celestial clock to mark the seasons. It's a comforting, peaceful image. But this new discovery throws that idea right out the window. You don't orchestrate a 465-mile death march just to know when to plant your crops. No. The purpose of Stonehenge was something far more complex and far more sinister. The key is the altar stone itself. Why that rock? Why from Scotland? The answer may lie in its unique geology. The stone is a piece of old red sandstone, rich in minerals like zircon and apatite, and has a different radioactive signature from the local stones. To us, that's just a geological curiosity. But to the Neolithic people who lived in a world alive with spirits and unseen forces, this stone may have had extraordinary properties. Many people are crazy about the idea that ancient sites are built on ley lines or places of special energy. While that's often dismissed, the truth is that the Earth does have a magnetic field, and some places have unique geological properties that create subtle anomalies. What if the builders of Stonehenge were masters of this forgotten science? What if they knew that the sarsen stones from the local area had one property, the blue stones from Wales had another, but to complete the circuit, to turn the whole thing on, they needed a final component, a component with the specific mineral and energetic composition found only in one remote part of Scotland. The altar stone wasn't an altar for offerings in the way we think of them. It was the central processing unit, the power core. It was the heart of a giant, terrifying machine. A machine that wasn't just isolated to England. Look across the globe. The Karnak stones in France, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, even sites in the Americas. They all share strange similarities. Megalithic construction, precise astronomical alignments. What if they were all nodes in a global network, and Stonehenge was one of its most important power stations? So what was this machine designed to do? The symmetrical, circular layout of Stonehenge is perfect for focusing energy, whether it's sound, light, or something we no longer understand. Some researchers have pointed out that the stones have incredible acoustic properties, that they can amplify and direct sound waves in strange ways. The thing nobody tells you is that certain sound frequencies can have profound effects on the human brain, inducing trance-like states, visions, or even intense fear. Was Stonehenge a device for mass mind control? A way for a priestly elite to broadcast their power directly into the minds of the population during terrifying ceremonies? Or was it something worse? The alignment with the solstices might not have been for marking time, but for drawing power from the sun and moon at their peak moments. Perhaps they were trying to open a gateway, a portal to another dimension, or communicate with entities we can't even imagine. The altar stone lying flat in the center would have been the focal point, the launch pad, or the landing strip. The legends of this part of England are filled with tales of strange beings, otherworldly visitors, and terrifying events. We dismiss them as folklore, but what if they are the distorted memories of what this machine was built to do, and what happened when its builders lost control? They built a terrifying machine, but did they lose control of it? Facing the echoes of the past. At this point, you're probably wondering, did this all happen overnight? Is this really true? Are we missing a key detail? The thing is, when you put all the pieces together, the picture that emerges is deeply unsettling. The impossible journey of the altar stone, the immense human cost, the strange geological properties of the rocks, the precise astronomical alignments. It all points to a purpose for Stonehenge that goes far beyond a simple temple. We are looking at a culture that possessed a terrifying level of social control and a form of technological knowledge that we simply do not understand. They were not the simple farmers we imagine. They were driven by a powerful, perhaps even desperate motivation that unified an entire island in a single monolithic project that spanned centuries. It's a real head-scratcher until you stop thinking of them as primitive and start thinking of them as something else entirely. Many people watching this are looking for a mystery, for evidence of aliens or a lost civilization like Atlantis, and maybe there's a grain of truth to that. But the truly worse than we imagined scenario isn't necessarily about otherworldly beings. The most terrifying possibility is about us, about humanity. The discovery of the altar stone's origin reveals a truth about our own ancestors that is, to put it mildly, hard to swallow. It reveals a society capable of a level of fanaticism and brutal, single-minded determination that rivals any modern totalitarian state. The horror of Stonehenge might be the monument itself. A testament to the fact that thousands of years ago, a ruling elite could command generations of people to sacrifice their entire existence for a goal so secret, we've never been able to decipher it. This impulse, this dark drive to build colossal things for unknowable reasons, didn't just vanish. Is it so different from the Cold War arms race, building arsenals capable of destroying the world many times over, or the race to create artificial intelligence without fully understanding its consequences? The chilling implication is that this wasn't an isolated event. This level of social organization, this power to command and control, may have been the true foundation of civilization itself, a foundation built on a dark and terrible secret about what humans are capable of. What if the machine they built worked too well? What if, on some distant solstice morning, they threw the switch and unleashed something they couldn't put back in the box? There is a reason the site was abandoned. There is a reason its original purpose was forgotten, buried under layers of folklore and myth. Perhaps the final story of Stonehenge is a warning about the dangers of unchecked power, of forbidden knowledge, and of building machines to meddle with forces beyond our comprehension. But the story doesn't end there. The latest theories go even deeper into the darkness. What they built was not a temple, but something far more terrifying, unlocking the apocalypse. The uncomfortable truth about our ancestors is just the beginning. The latest, wildest theories about Stonehenge's purpose are the stuff of nightmares, and with the altar stone's origin now a fact, these theories suddenly seem much less crazy. What if the goal wasn't to contact something, but to contain it? This is the cosmic prison theory. It suggests that Stonehenge is not a gateway, but a lock, a highly advanced containment field designed to imprison a malevolent entity, a being of immense power that was trapped on Earth thousands of years ago. In this scenario, each stone, with its specific geological and energetic properties, is a bar in the cage. The blue stones from Wales form one circuit, the local sarsens another, but the final piece, the master lock, was the altar stone from Scotland. Its unique signature was the one thing that could seal the prison. The worse than we imagined part, the prison might be failing. The reason the site was abandoned could be that the entity began to stir, and the builders fled in terror. Are the weird hums, strange lights, and unsettling feelings people report at Stonehenge just tourist fantasies? Or are they the signs of a cosmic horror slowly waking up from its 5,000-year slumber? Then there's the terraforming engine theory. This one suggests the builders of Stonehenge were not acting on their own. They were either aliens themselves or under the direction of an off-world intelligence. According to this theory, Stonehenge is just one component in a global network of megalithic structures designed to slowly and subtly alter Earth's atmosphere, magnetic field, and even its vibration to make it more suitable for another form of life. It's a planetary engineering project on a timescale we can barely comprehend. The chilling implication is that the project was never shut down. It's still running, quietly humming away in the background, preparing our world for new occupants. We are simply living in a house that is being renovated for someone else. Another spine-chilling idea is that Stonehenge isn't a temple or calendar at all. It's a weapon. Not a simple weapon, but a doomsday device of impossible precision and forgotten purpose. Its perfect geometry and acoustic resonance might not have been designed for ceremonies, but for destruction. Some researchers believe the stones were tuned to focus sound, vibration, and electromagnetic energy, channeling it into the Earth itself. By manipulating specific frequencies, the machine could have caused targeted earthquakes, summoned storms of unnatural force, or even emitted a frequency so deadly it could disintegrate living tissue. It wasn't built to honor the heavens, it was built to control them. In this version of prehistory, Stonehenge wasn't a monument. It was the ultimate deterrent in a war long erased from memory. Imagine two ancient powers armed not with swords or bronze, but with technology we can barely comprehend. The altar stone, central and unique, might have been the trigger, the firing pin to a weapon capable of reshaping the world. According to some legends, a rival faction from the north, possibly from what is now Scotland, attempted to steal or dismantle it. The so-called construction of Stonehenge may have actually been a desperate mission to hide, deactivate, or reassemble this device before it fell into the wrong hands. The story we think of as ancient engineering could be the record of an ancient disarmament. And here's the most chilling thought of all. What if it was never fully deactivated? What if the weapon still stands, dormant but functional, waiting for someone to find the key, waiting for the right vibration, the right alignment, to wake it again? The way the monument interacts with sound and solar cycles could be more than coincidence. Maybe those alignments aren't symbolic. Maybe they're operational. But even that theory pales beside the darkest of all, the reset button. In this view, Stonehenge wasn't a weapon of war, but a mechanism of survival, built by a civilization far older than recorded history. They saw the end coming, perhaps from the sky, in the form of an asteroid, or from within through a massive polar shift. Knowing extinction was inevitable, they constructed machines like Stonehenge around the world, not monuments, but restart codes for life itself. Each site, Stonehenge, Göbekli Tepe, the pyramids, and others, would have served as a repository, a kind of cosmic library storing data in stone. The altar stone might have been their battery, a power core designed to last for thousands of years. After the cataclysm, the machines would activate in sequence, seeding life, rebalancing the planet, and restoring what was lost. In other words, Stonehenge wasn't built to remember the dead. It was built to bring back the living. If that's true, the most terrifying question isn't how it works, but when. Was it already triggered once before, rebooting Earth after a forgotten apocalypse? Could humanity itself be the byproduct of that last reset? An eco-civilization living in the long aftershock of something that once ended everything? And if so, what happens when it activates again? Every solstice, when the stones align perfectly with the sun, people gather to celebrate the dawn. But maybe what they're really witnessing isn't a ritual, it's a countdown. The energy aligns, the machine hums softly in the background of time, and somewhere beneath Salisbury Plain, the old system waits for its next command. Maybe Stonehenge isn't a mystery to be solved. Maybe it's a warning from those who came before, one that we still don't understand, one that could, at any moment, turn itself back on. This incredible discovery forces us to reconsider everything. Were the builders of Stonehenge priests, engineers, or something far more powerful? And what do you believe was its true, terrifying purpose? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to uncover more secrets from our hidden past, make sure to like and subscribe.